Hello everybody, it's Friday again. More beer. Got an interesting looking beer today. Innis & Gunn Scotch Whisky Porter. Classic Scottish porter with a rich rounded character. Brewed in small batches and aged over oak. Our porter has been aged over oak infused. That doesn't make sense. Our porter has been aged over oak, infused with fine Scotch whisky, which has given it its unique depth and complexity. So let's have a look. 7.4. Just while I'm getting the beer out, a quick hello to Del from Dirty Room Knives. Giving up the cigs. So I hope week one's gone alright for you, mate. Well, certainly looks like a porter. Now I've not had this in the fridge. It's been behind the cellar door. So it's a little bit cooler than room temperature, but it's not fridge cold. Which is probably about right for this sort of a beer. So there we go. It's only a small bottle. 330ml. So it smells like a porter. Oh, that's nice. It is very smooth, just a little bit of hop flavour at the end. Doesn't taste of whisky, but after you swallow it, you get that suggestion of a whisky flavour at the back of your nose, like the fumes when you've just had a sip of scotch. That is really nice. Innis & Gunn Scotch Whisky Porter. I like that. I'll just say hello to Josco as well. If you're watching, Josco, I've been enjoying your videos. It's nice to see other countries. Cheers, my friend. Now, just got a quick update on the multi-tool, the Gerber that Ed A to Z sent me. When I did the review, I noticed that as it's been used, there were 2 or 3 little tiny nicks in the blade, and I said that, you know, I'd have to get round to rubbing them out, and I didn't for ages, but I finally have now. So let's have a look at the condition of the blade now. Just use the usual wet and dry paper. Oh, 240, then 800. Now as you can see, it's still a bit toothy. It's not razor sharp. But for this kind of blade, for this kind of use, I don't think I want a very, very fine edge. So I've left it there. One thing it does show though, when I was talking about sharpening on a previous video, I was saying how when you sharpen freehand, it's very difficult to keep the angle exactly the same when you're sharpening on that side compared to sharpening on that side, because it's just the way your hand is. And as you can see there, on this side I've matched the factory bevel fairly well, but on this side, not even close. So that is something to bear in mind with freehand sharpening. It doesn't produce or doesn't always produce the exactly symmetrical bevels that you would get with a jig. But at least we've got rid of those couple of little tiny nicks in the blade. And that's good to go, as they say. Now, the thing I want to talk to you today about is look-alike knives. I recently did a review of this Sanren Mu, which the Fat Man very kindly sent me. One of the comments I had was from Klaus L. Muller, who pointed out that the design is a copy of a Viper Timeless. So I thought I'd better check that out. And it is. Just show you these two pictures. So it's not 100% match. Bolster's a little bit different shape, and the handle screws are slightly different, but it's clearly close enough not for it to be coincidental. So I was thinking to myself, is that acceptable? In a lot of areas you come across this sort of behaviour where, for example, a mobile phone manufacturer brings out a new model and it catches on, so the rivals immediately bring out one that's pretty much the same, just with one or two key differences to try and keep them out the courtroom, and everybody just accepts that. But at the end of the day, it is intellectual property theft, and I'm just wondering where people stand on this. We know there is a big interest in look-alike knives anyway. You got things like the Bokeh Plus Nano. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there would like a real Curtis custom knife, can't afford it, like me. But these official collaborations are a very budget-friendly way to try and get a bit of the look and feel, a bit of the cool factor, even if you don't get the premium materials, or even not necessarily custom knives, high-end production knives. The Kershaw Emerson range seems to be getting very popular. And then you got things like this Big Daft Schrade, which, as far as I'm aware, is not an official collaboration at all, but when you look at it, it may as well just be a knife I've just forgotten the name of from Medford Knife and Tools. It's pretty much exactly the same, but it's only 30 quid. Bit sneaky. Even the knife I opened my beer with. A Claes Olsson branded pocket knife. A straight copy of the Victorinox Spartan. Although I'm not suggesting that Claes Olsson have done anything underhand. I'm assuming that that's done with Victorinox's consent. But is it fundamentally unfair? Well, yes, it is. It's a bit naughty, nicking one of Viper's designs. But the real one's a lot more expensive. And I think ultimately the vast majority of people who buy the look-alike designs wouldn't be buying the original anyway. It's a parallel with that whole home taping is killing music bollocks. You know, if you make a copy of somebody's CD, you're diddling the artist out of their rightful income. But for me personally, almost everything that I've got that's a copy, I wouldn't have bought the original anyway. And there are ones where, having listened to the copy, I like it so much that not only have I gone out and bought the original, but bought a shed load of the artist's other work as well. So what it boils down to for me, I think, the key thing is, yes, it's a Viper design, but it's San Renmu branded. It's a copy, but it's not a fake. It's not a counterfeit. It's not pretending to be a Viper. So, whilst it isn't exactly playing fair, I think it's an idea that's a lot more easy to live with than if they're actually, or if somebody was actually banging out pretend Viper Timelesses, putting Viper Timeless on the box and selling them at real Viper Timeless price, rather than, it says it's a San Renmu, so it just looks a bit like it. It's a very nice knife though. Cracking gift off Chad. So what do you think? Do you agree with any of that? What I would like you to do, if you can be bothered, is if anybody has got a particularly strong opinion on the ethical implications of look-alike knives, or if ethical considerations influence your knife buying choices, let me know in the comments below. I'm going to have my beer now. Oh, that's lovely. Cheers, and thanks for watching.